So let's talk about machine learning in particular. Um, so Cloud Vision lets you understand the content of an image. It will let you identify and detect objects, which are called labels. It'll let you extract text like OCR. It'll detect landmarks, corporate logos, facial features, product search, as well as explicit content. One of the cool things about the Vision API is that there's a live demo, I believe, on the homepage. So if you go to the homepage, it will let you upload an image from your desktop or from whatever computer you have, and it will actually analyze that image for you, tells you what it sees in that image. But better yet, for those of you who are developers, it will show you, what is the JSON payload look like for the request, what is the JSON response coming back from the API, so you can kind of figure out how to parse it. And it also goes, it also has tabs for each of these individual features too. So it's a really, really good demo. So let's take a look at this. Let's dive in. So here's your first Python code sample. Again, if you don't know Python, just pretend this is pseudocode. So we have an image. It's sitting in Google Cloud Storage. So I have a short link here. If it was on the web, then I would have HTTP here. And you can also tweak this code to support uploading of a local file from your computer as well too. The client library is very flexible. So we import the Vision client library with the line at the top. Then I create a client to talk to the API with, and then I pass in a link to the image wherever it is. And then I just say, hey, please detect everything that's in here, and then pass in the image to the image variable. And then once I get a response back from the API, I just print out, so what are the objects, and then what is the confidence score that that object or that label applies to this image. Okay, very basic. This is what, like 8 lines of code, 9 lines of code. Is very, very short. You can get going very quickly with our APIs. So that's another reason why I'm using Python, because you can actually have an entire code sample fit on one slide. Okay, so here's the photo online. It's a picture of a street life in the Shanghai. And here are the labels that the Vision API has identified, as well as the confidence score of the likelihood that that item's in there. And I'm going to link you to this code lab. So if you don't know what a code lab is, it's basically an online tutorial. It's self-paced, right? It's free. And in half an hour, you can play with this app as well as 3 other apps in, again, 10 lines of code. You can pretty much absorb this whole thing. The other ones are about the same size as well. So I'll give you another link to this a little later on, but you get 4 examples in that particular tutorial. So let's look at the next example, which is I'm going to try and detect some text in an image. So this is a different image, and here's my code. And this time I'm going to detect text. So that's what I'm requesting. And then I just print out what text I found and then where it's located. So that's that example. So here's the image, and here's the text that it sees, and it actually tells you what is the text, and it also tells you the bounding box, the polygon where that text was detected. And then another link to the code lab. And then here's the next one. Okay, moving on to the third example. So this is where I'm using it to detect landmarks. So you notice that the code is all very consistent, right? I give it an image, I create a client, I pass the image location, and then I call whatever service I want. Okay, so landmark detection now, and then print out the output. Okay, in this case, this is, obviously it's the Eiffel Tower, but it also recognizes where the Eiffel Tower is located. And so it tells you, the landmark that's detected, as well as the confidence score. This time I just returned the real number instead of a percentage. And then the bounding box of where that landmark has been identified. So anyway, so here's the code lab again. So you do those 2, the landmark and the OCR one, and then you also do the street market in Shanghai, and then you also do these other pair of my coworkers being silly, but it's measuring facial features. So this is not facial detection. This is just facial features. Is this person happy? Are they sad? What's the emotion that they have? So you can detect that. So you can do all that at the Cloud Vision code lab that you see there. And then other code labs are found at this short link down at the bottom. So there are all the other cloud ones. Okay, so lots of tutorials for you to use. This one will take, less than half hour. I'd say about 15 to 20 minutes, especially if you go with